Here we are with Jason Dottley, superstar, actor, recording artist, and all-around awesome guy. Last time we spoke, you were starring on Del Shores' Sorted Lives, the series, on Logo, and you just started releasing your music. What was the best part about being on Sorted Lives?
When I started doing Sorted Lives, the answer would have been working with and learning from icons like Rue McClanahan and Olivia Newton-John. Now, 4.5 years later, the best part is definitely the fans I have from that experience who cross over into all the new adventures I take on.
And prior to your new single, which just released, It's Our Night, you released 3 other singles, Pop It, Hit Play, and Party Around the World. How do you feel your music has grown over the years?
A lot. When I started doing music, I met a lot of resistance from my friends who were singers because, I'm not Josh Groban. I'm not going to be on Glee anytime soon. And there was a part of myself that felt like I had to take what I did lightly, because if I took myself too seriously, it would result in other people having the same resistance that my friends who were singers had. And now that I've had, top 20 Billboard record and top 10 in the UK, I was able to sit back and say, wait a minute, there is something that I know how to do here. And it's that I know good music when I hear it. And so when I approached recording this record, for the first time I actually wrote with the goal of having great melodies and the goal of having something that could be more sung and less spoken. So I guess the biggest difference is confidence. It makes a world of difference in your work.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. Well, it definitely, I think, shows through in It's Our Night. I saw the video, and it's amazing. It reminds me actually a lot of Madonna's Bad Girl, which I know you're a huge Madonna fan. What about Madonna do you love so much, and why do you look up to her so much?
When I was a kid in the 90s, Madonna was the only gay man I had to look up to. And that's kind of sounds funny, but, there was no one else who represented such a deviation from traditional society, at least from where I was raised, that Madonna did. And she put on television in front of me images of 2 men together I'd never seen. She put images of transsexuals and drag queens. She opened up a world to me that I knew existed somewhere, but I had no idea where to find it. So she gave me the strength as a young kid going through puberty and being teased in high school, that being different, so amazingly different, could land you in a place like hers. It didn't have to be a bad thing. So she gave me a lot of strength in my own identity.
That's awesome. With your new video, It's Our Night, you are sort of like a James Bond type character saving this pretty woman. What made you cast yourself as a straight hero as opposed to a gay one?
Well, that's the thing, is he's actually not straight or gay. I know it's a video and it's short, so it's hard to get a full story told in 3.5 minutes, but my character is actually an assassin. He's out to kill the girl. So he's not really romantically after the woman, he's out to kill her. So the way I look at it is, perhaps my character was in love with the guy. Perhaps the girl was in his way. Perhaps it's like the coolest gay story ever told. Perhaps you have to look further than what you see on screen. How about that?
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. And I'm going to go back and watch the video and look further than what I just saw. It's awesome. How did you decide to come up with the concept for the video?
I can't take tons of credit. My best friend, who's my stylist, I called him and I said, listen, you have the song. It's about going out to a club with someone you like. I'm not making a video about going out to a club with someone that I like. I said, I want to do something that's sexy, but that has no sex in it. And he wrote back 10 minutes later, how about a spy? So I sent my director, who's this action-adventure kind of guy, and I said, I'd like to do a spy, something that's sexy. There you go, have a field day. So he sent me back a treatment that was what you saw, and his only concern was that I would have an issue dying at the end, which I thought was kind of cool. So I just gave guidelines and said, let's have fun within these parameters.
And that's you're releasing your full-length album in the fall, Love Story. How did you decide that you wanted to title the album Love Story, and how did you decide which songs you wanted to put on there?
Oh, I'm a big sap. That's what happened. Well, as you know, I was going through a divorce. I'd started to write material early through that process that was about self-destruction and, sadness and blah. And I thought to myself, do I really want to look back at this part of my life? And every time I get my iPod out and put on this record. I have to relive sadness. And I didn't want to do that. So instead, I decided to focus all of my creativity on the change I was trying to make and to getting from point A to point B as opposed to sitting at A and looking back at what happened already. And I'd sort of started dating somebody, begun to fall in love again, was experiencing that feeling of new love again. And so I felt like it was an interesting love story, except starting with heartbreak and moving into new love, as opposed to just starting with new love and ending, wherever you end up when that happens.
It's awesome. It's awesome that you found that difference between wanting to look back, be like, is this really what I want to put out there for myself?
Well, you live and you learn. With my last song, Pop It, which is such light ear candy, I wanted to shoot a video that matched that. I wanted eye candy to match the ear candy, but I had both of my stepdaughters were in the video. My ex-husband was on set, just watching, and I left my marriage the next day. So when I can't watch that video because all I see in every shot of myself is sadness, just intense sadness. And then I see my stepdaughters and I think about the chaos that happened the next day. So I can't go back to that record at this point in my life at all. And I wanted to make certain when I looked back at this video, at this song, that it took me to a place that I would always want to return to. So I made every deliberate effort in that so that I could control at least as much as I could of this experience.
It's a good way to look at it. It's very positive, and we definitely need a lot of positive energy these days. Of your divorce. How did you find the strength to move forward from it, and what do you think your strength of moving forward will show other people?
What was my alternative? Just sit in bed and cry about it forever? Sometimes you have to just look at life that simply. You can either say, God, I'm divorced and people think I'm horrible, or you can put your big boy pants on and go out and continue to kick ass. And at some point, you have to take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Whether or not you feel like you caused it or not, at the end of the day, if you don't take responsibility for it, you can't change it. And so I looked at the things that I had done, the decisions I had made poorly in my life leading up to that point. I looked at the weaknesses that had been exposed to me up until that point. And I literally made a list. Those big Post-it sheets they sell at Office Depot? They're huge. My wall in my office or my bedroom, they're all around me. And one of them has the 5 most important things in my life. And I have to go and I put on there how much time I spend a week generally on those 5 things. Then I have a list of most important career goals at the moment. I surround myself with things that inspire me and motivate me. And getting through my divorce and finding the strength to do that came with a lot of work on myself, notebooks, work and listening to, self-help gurus. It wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't. I didn't think it would be.
No.
But you made it, and look, you're on the other side now.
Yes, I am.
That's amazing.
Literally the other side of the country, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, adios.
Well, New York's very happy to have you.